Theo, you're very welcome to the programme. How are you?
Hello, good.
Good. Hurts. Now, you played earlier on in the tent stage earlier, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
How was it?
Fantastic. It's been a long time since we've been here, a few years now, and we've been so excited today, and it was just everything we wanted. It was a fantastic crowd.
And near the end of festival season, one more to go is Turkey next Friday. Will the weather be good? It's beautiful out there now.
It's beautiful. That's the other thing. It's beautiful. It was lovely when we left London this morning, and we it was a bit of a quick turnaround. We had to run out of a car from the airport straight onto stage, but it was a great welcome. Yeah.
Very rock and roll. It wasn't a limo, was it?
No, it was a transit.
Was it now? Okay, let's take a look at the album Exile, right? Elton John is on it, first of all, which is... is that like, he's a fan of yours or you're a fan of his, and hey, Elton, will you come on our album?
It was sort of... we found out he was a fan a few years ago, and we... I always remembered it, obviously, because it was a huge moment, and it came round to it, and I thought to myself, I wonder if we could ask him for this song we had, which already had a choir on it made of fans from around the world, and it was already a special song. I thought, I wonder if we can ask, and he was just so kind, and he was really forthcoming and came to the studio, and we were very, very lucky.
And obviously when people have two albums out, people always ask this. I'm going to ask, what's the difference in Hurts between album 1 and album 2? It's better.
Well, it's just the next stage for us. The first album, we could never write another album like the first one, so we had to move forward as a band and try different things, try and fill the gaps that were left by the first one. So it's more dynamic, it's more guitars, it's heavier in parts. So hopefully it shows people another side. And
the world is showing itself to you. Are you small village England or big town England?
Small village.
Small village England.
I'm from the north. I'm from North Yorkshire. Adam's from near Manchester.
Right.
And I'm from right in the middle of the countryside, the middle of nowhere.
So what was the music like that you were listening to? Was it The Cure, Depeche Mode and The Smiths, or was it Eminem, or what was it?
Yeah, weirdly, the first album I ever got was Eminem when I was 11 years old. First album I got bought, which is a
So you're in a small village and you get a first album 11 years old, and did it do what people say in the 50s Elvis did to them, that kind of thing?
It did. Well, my world was tiny. I lived in a small town and I had no outlet really, and when you're that age and you're growing up and you're a teenager, an album like that and people like the Strokes and things like that, all of a sudden the world's a bigger place and it seems like there's a lot more possible. And so they're the bands and Libertines and stuff that made me want to be in a band, really.
And would the attitude of the Libertines be part of it too, without going too overboard?
Well, if the desire to make something special,
right,
and the desire to be unique and to put effort into what you do. I think that's what we've always wanted to do, is not be like everybody else and strive to carve our own path, I think.
Do you get blasé with the travel? I mean, we're talking Germany and Russia and Iceland and all the rest, or do you always say, no, this is... do you get to see anything?
Well, they always say that's what you get paid for.
Yeah.
You get paid for the travel, not for the gigs.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's... We do. We've been lucky enough to go. I mean, we've been all around the world, and we endeavour to see things and to experience places. And we've been lucky enough to go to places like Siberia and Indonesia and places where bands, not only bands but people, don't really travel to, tourists. And so we've seen some fantastic things. Yeah.
I think it was Charlie Watts from the Stones, and then every second actor always says that I get up there and I play for free. It's the hanging and bleeding around that drives me round the bend.
But it always is a. That's the solace in it. When you sat in an airport for 5 hours, you go, it's all right, because this is...
and
it's not
the flight's
hard
delayed
work,
by a day.
Right.
Just as a matter of fact, in terms of image, and image being as important as anything ever is, like David Bowie in the 70s, his platforms were as important as any B-side he ever released, kind of thing. Would you ever go out in tracksuits? I mean, you're pretty smart dressers.
We threw all of our other clothes out, so we've got no choice now. But yeah, it's part of who we are, and lucky enough we're best friends, and it is what we've got the same taste in things, and it's always been the image of the band's always been a very important addition to the music. I think they need each other. So yeah, it's something we care about a lot.
Like Hurts is it fair to say? Let's just call mainland Europe and then UK. You were definitely picked up bigger in mainland Europe than you were at home, weren't you?
Yeah,
that can be a very good thing.
It was fantastic for us. We just made our music in places like Germany and Russia and Greece and all these places. All of a sudden there was a huge spike of interest before anyone in England knew who we were or what we were doing, and it gave us a great pride for these places and a great relationship, and we've go all over the place, Finland, and yeah, it's we're very, very lucky. When we meet bands who don't have that, I think we remember how lucky we are.
And if you get somebody in the studio to stop the lot of you fighting, I mean, like the Swedish producer you got, which is Jonas Quant.
Yeah.
Now, is he there to kind of referee or say, listen, lads, you've done 94 takes, that's enough, come go on to the next one?
Yeah, in a way he is. Yeah, his role in both of the records was we'll just push and add things and make things. We're sort of maximalists. We make things sound as big as possible, and he's the restraint, and he's got a great ear for pop and a great ear for sounds, and he reins us in. That's what.
So could I say in any way at all that he has a Scandinavian sensibility? And if I do, explain in 30 seconds what I might mean by that.
Simplicity, elegance, dedication, and artistry. That's the Swedish way, isn't it? And health, and also aside from beauty, health, and
and very expensive beer.
Very expensive beer.
Okay, well look, one last one, because we did start this as that last track was playing there by you two. I just wanted to ask you a thing about Björk is playing later on, right?
Yeah.
And you do Army of Me in your no, you have done.
Yeah, we did it a few times this summer. She's one of our favourite people ever, and we did it a few times. Just we messed about with it in rehearsals, and we thought it worked. But we'll do it. We do it every so often. But we're going to miss her tonight, which is I'm devastated about.
And what is it finally about somebody like Björk, and as regards Hertz as well? Because I mean, you know, is it the out there-ness of her?
It's the sheer lack of
not playing by any rules.
Of conformity, and she's carved her own path, and not only is she unique and has a unique vision, she's also incredibly talented musically, production-wise, lyrically, vocally. Like, she's a huge machine, and it's very difficult in the world where no one has even come close to copying her in, 20 years or something like that? No one even attempts to be like Björk.
Yeah.
And that's a great testament to her, I think.
Okay, by the way, one person I haven't asked about, and I can't believe it, speaking of unique, I mean, we know Cheryl Cole has a unique bottom these days, but tell me about Kylie. Is Kylie's bottom still working, yeah?
It does, it still works. It could stop traffic.
You got Kylie, did you ring her up and say, we have this track Devotion, let's do it?
Yeah, we sent her an email. It wasn't as glamorous as a phone call, but we...
she didn't do it down the line, did she? She was there, was she?
No, she was there, yeah. She was the same, like, people, it's refreshing to know that people get to this position by anyone who's a star, like Elton or her. They're a star because they've got...
you hear him, it's Elton now.
But there's a star because they've got a good heart, and they're kind and generous people, and it's lovely to see that in the flesh, yeah.
Okay, well look, I'll tell you what, we are live in the Roadcaster at the Electric Picnic. We have Theo here from Hertz, but we're going to kick you out now because it's time for the news. So thank you very much, Theo, and good luck. By the way, you're leaving here now shortly?
Straight onto that plane.
Oh, God. Well, listen, enjoy Turkey next Friday.
Thank you very much,
I won't be there. Good luck, thanks.
Thank you, goodbye.